Hey YouTube, Dark Richician of Team Sorcerers here, and in this video I'm counting down my top 10 favourite Synchro monsters. Oh, and I've just dropped my mouse, wonderful. Yes, I also have a collection of my top 10 favourite Synchros that I'm about to show you guys, and it's changed a little bit since the last time I did this back on my original channel, like over 6 years ago. So let's kick it off. So in at number 10 we're starting off with Tempest Magician, very recently banned. In fact it's been about 2 months now since she got banned. Tempest Magician, the original spellcaster Synchro. A very, very nice card to play in generic spellcaster decks and Dark Magician decks and Dark Magician Girl decks. Has a pretty nice burn effect as well. Just by removing spell counters from the field, and I can just gain some more simply by discarding any number of cards I want from hand. Generally pretty easy to summon. Like you could make this turn 1 if you go Magical Exemplar, play a spell, she gains 2 spell counters, remove 2 to special Knight's End Sorcerer, then sync for this gal. I was going to say guy, but Tempest Magician is in fact a woman. Anyway, so yeah, definitely always worth playing. 1 or 2 copies. That's all there is to say, really. She was fun to play while it lasted. Of course, I didn't use and abuse her for any FTK purposes, because that's not my thing. And then coming in at number 9 is Black Rose Dragon, one of the very best level 7 synchros in the game. The funny thing is, this came out like after Judgment Dragon came out, and while Judgment Dragon could only be played in a Lightsworn deck, it was kind of cool that we were given a generic Judgment Dragon of sorts. So, I can even remember when Black Rose was limited once upon a time, like from September 2009 to September 2010, and I actually can't remember why Black Rose got limited in the first place. I can usually remember quite a lot of things regarding the game, but that's something I just don't remember. Mind you, we're talking like over 10 years ago, mind you. Anyway, Black Rose Dragon is just awesome. It is a shame that it usually takes up a normal summon, but it's generally worth it to basically reset the field just like that. And then of course there's the other effect, which can be pretty helpful if you're playing plants. It doesn't always come up, of course, but when it does, oh my god, it's devastating. If anything, the drawback of having my cards wiped out and having this use up a normal monster excuse me, was no problem when I played this in Legendary Hero, because then I could follow up with a fusion play. All the same though, Black Rose Dragon, simply amazing. There we go. And coming in at number 8 is one of Yusei's monsters, Junk Warrior. The very first synchro that was revealed, if I remember correctly. or maybe it was Stardust or Red Dragon Archfiend, can't remember. But I believe this was the first, actually one of the first 3 synchros we got in the starter deck. It was this, Colossal Fighter, and the Gaia synchro. Wasn't Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger? That's the Xyz. Gaia Knight the Force of Earth, that was it. But no, I think we all had a liking for Junk Warrior. Like, he's such a cool card. Especially if you do happen to have any level 2 or lowers on the field. There's lots of combos nowadays that can make it happen, especially when it comes to Doppel Warrior. Yeah, just using Doppel Warrior in the Synchro, generating tokens, gaining a power-up from said tokens, and becomes a 3100 beta, trying to do some quick maths there, and it keeps the power up even if those monsters leave the field. It's a very fun card, and can grow mighty powerful in the right situation. That's all there is to say about it, really. I feel like I should play it in my deck of cards, although I feel like I should play Junk Synchron in there, but don't have those going spare right now. Anyway, in at number 7 is my favourite psychic, Force Ruler Archfiend. Definitely a great level 8 synchro. Doesn't see much play nowadays, which is a pity, but I still like to use Fort Ruler when I can, because it's so awesome, just gaining life points off monsters it destroys. Although the other effect, I guess, is kind of situational nowadays. Negating a spell or trap that targets a psychic, including itself. It's not likely to come up these days, but all the same though, it's still a 2700 beta, which gives me life points if it destroys monsters. I love it. I generally try and play it if I can, like I said. You know, it's just difficult to fit him in these days. It's usually Stardust and Scarlight that sees more play in any of my decks that play level 8 synchros. Anyway, speaking of Red Dragon Archfiend cards, he is at number 6. Another synchro that doesn't see much play nowadays, except in his own deck, but I've always been a fan of Red Dragon Archfiend all the same. Like, nice 3k beta that's somewhat easy to summon, depending on the deck. Just breaking through defences just like that. It's pretty fun, and like I said, nice 3k beta that can run over most monsters. Yeah, can't usually go wrong. I know Scarlight is better, but yeah, the original Red Dragon Archfiend needs some love as well. I even remember, like, when I first got the card, I believe it was a Duelist Genesis pack from a tin. Yeah, pulled it fresh from the pack and kept it ever since. Like, obviously this is just a common one, but that ultra rare Red Dragon Archfiend I pulled from that pack, I still have it, and it's currently in my September 2010 format Dark Magician deck. Although I feel like I should play it in my Red Dragon Archfiend deck. definitely deserves it. Anyway, in at number 5 is Majestic Stardust Dragon. One of the best looking cards in the game, in my personal opinion. Well, especially the Ultimate, Ultra and Ghost Rare. I have always really liked this card. Sure, it has the drawback of staying on the field for one turn, but it's usually so worth it if it comes out. Just sealing an effect for one turn and just nuking the opponent's board if they try to do anything, really. It is a lot of fun. I kind of hate how for a while it was used and abused with Dragon Archfiend and Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. Yeah, that was really annoying. But other than that, though, like, definitely a fan favourite. In fact, I even like this card so much that I once had a deck based around it. I had the ability to drop this card turn 1, like, it was amazing. Like, the combo would be basically getting Majestic Dragon and Stardust Shaolong in the grave, whether it was through Future Fusion, Dragon's Mirror, Foolish Burial, special summoning the Tricky, and then I would go Cyber Dragon or the Tricky, or just any level 5 monster really that can be special summoned. If the opponent has monsters and I don't, then normal summon the junk Synchro, revive Majestic Dragon, Synchro Stardust, which will then trigger Shaolong's effect to special summon itself, then boom! This card hits the field. Those were good times. And coming in at number 4 is Red Nova Dragon, like one of the bigger boss monsters of the Red Dragon Archfiend deck. Not that easy to go into, but it's so worth it. Gaining a massive power up from multiple tuners in grave, has destruction immunity, negates attacks. Yeah, it's awesome. And when this card comes out, oh boy, it's a challenge to get round. Well, unless of course you use get rid of it with an effect that doesn't destroy, obviously, in which case that does put a damper on any fun that can be had with this card. But other than that, though, he's just an absolute beast, which is a lot of fun to bring out late game, and not just in Red Dragon Archfiend decks. It's been a nice techie card for me to play in other decks. I did play it in Dark Magician briefly, because you know, I did have ways to summon it, which would be a Red Dragon Archfiend, which is generally not too difficult to summon, and getting out a Knights and Sorcerer and a Plague Spreader zombie, or just 2 Knights and Sorcerers, and boom, this card comes out. Although the typical thing is, I only got it out once when playing Dark Magician, and that was in a Skype duel I once had with Emma Blue Eyes 10 off camera. Like, I wish it could have been off camera, especially since Shining Dragon made an appearance, and Shining Dragon can negate Red Nova's effect to negate an attack, but I think I stopped Blue Eyes Shining Dragon another way. I don't remember how I did it, but I did manage to do it and win that duel. Yeah, another one from nearly 10 years ago. I also played it in Dark Magic Swarm as well. It wasn't difficult to summon in that deck either. Don't remember if I did do it though. And of course I play it in my deck of cards as well, because I can. Gotta love Red Nova. In at number 3, continuing with the Red Dragon Archfiend theme, is Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, the retained counterpart to the original, and without a doubt one of the best level 8 synchros in the game, at least right now anyway, and has been for the last 4 years. Yeah, it's such a beast of a card, just wiping out special summoned effect monsters with attack points equal or less than this guy. So generally most monsters that make an appearance, oh yeah, and inflicting 500 damage for both, and just it can end games if that happens late game. So it's just a lot of fun, and definitely worthy of a spot if you play level 8 synchros. This is an absolute must, definitely. I mean, there's not much else to say about it really, provided, apart from the fact that this was the last ghost rare we ever got. And in at number 2 is Goyo Guardian, another of my all-time favourite synchros, despite the pointless errata. It's just quite funny that it's a 2/8 beta that's very easy to summon, or at least it was before the errata. Just taking monsters that it destroys and using them for whatever. That was pretty fun to do. I even remember a couple of stupid duels I had with Derek and Steve-O, where yeah, we both had a Goyo Guardian on the field and kept destroying the same monster, and it kept switching sides. I remember the first time I was using my Elemental Hero deck and I stole one of Derek's Goyos with Monster Reborn. Yeah, he was playing Teledad, by the way, and we both kept running over a Blade Edge, so it was a crazy stalemate. I know I broke it and won the duel though. Don't remember how I did it because it's been so long ago. Then the second time, I used my own Goyo Guardian, I think, and I stole Steve-O's Stardust Dragon. Now I was using Dark Magician Girl, he was playing zombies, and he had Stardust and his own Goyo on the field, and we both kept attacking Stardust and it kept switching sides. It was just so funny. But he had to end the fun by sacrificing it to tribute summon, I think it was Ryukoki, a card which is generally a big problem for spellcaster and warrior decks, because for those who don't know Ryukoki or don't remember what it does, basically if it battles a warrior or a spellcaster monster, it gets destroyed at the end of the damage step, and guess what I usually play? Oh boy. Yeah, it is kind of annoying that it's been errated, so that it now needs an Earth tuner, but I really don't see the point, because Goyo Guardian's generally not that powerful a card anymore. Like, there's so many ways to stop it. He's just overshadowed by things like Coral Dragon and Brionac. But it's alright though. I can still play him in some decks, especially Summon Skull. Yeah, because obviously Psychic Wielder is an Earth tuner, so yeah, making it in that deck is legit. Oh yeah, one other funny story about Goyo Guardian. Like, early in the 5Ds era, I wanted one for my Dark Magician Girl deck, and I actually bought the Go Guardian tin, and my girlfriend from the time, Anna, also got a tin or some loose Duelist Genesis packs, I can't remember, but from a Duelist Genesis pack she got lucky enough to pull a Go Guardian from a pack. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh dear. Good times though. And finally, in at number 1, well, this is, you've probably guessed it since I did mention it in some recent videos, my favourite Synchro monster in the game is Stardust Dragon. Like, I mean, was there ever any doubt? Like, I've always been a big fan of this card, even when it's been summoned against me. Like, it's been a love-hate card for a while, especially quite early on. Like, I've always liked using Stardust Dragon myself. It's just annoying when it's used against me though, because it just hard counters things like Heavy Storm, Mirror Force, and then later on Dark Hole. But all the same though, Stardust Dragon is awesome. He has been shoved aside by things like Scarlight, Omega and Scrap Dragon, but you know, I still prefer Stardust Dragon all the way, and I generally try and play him in any deck I can really that runs synchros, especially level 8 ones. I feel like I should put him in my fish deck. Don't know what I'd drop though, but I'm sure there's something, considering I don't need link monsters to unlock zones to summon other extra deck monsters, and I also wish this was the original artwork I had in my favourite Synchro collection. Because although alternate arts are nice, I'm one of those people who generally prefers the original artwork. But all the same though, Stardust Dragon is fantastic. I try and play him when I can, and you know, he can be a great asset in Dark Magician still. I mean, you've seen my latest Dark Magician deck profile, although the only way I can summon Stardust is through Starlight Road, but all the same though, I'm still able to summon this guy. Just adds another layer of protection. Love it. Like, there's nothing else I can really say, really. And that is it. That is my top 10 favourite Synchro monster list. Let me just show you the collection in all its glory. It's probably not as fancy as James C's overall Synchro collection, but me personally, I'm fine with having my top 10 absolute favourites. And if you liked this video, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't subbed already. And I'll catch you guys later, stay safe, and I'll see you later.